If you've ever looked at your relationship history and thought, why does this keep happening to me? This video is going to answer that question, and the answer might be uncomfortable. But it's also the most freeing thing you'll ever understand about yourself. Every relationship you've ever had has followed a pattern, not because you're unlucky, not because all the good ones are taken, but because you have been unconsciously drawn to the same emotional dynamic over and over again. The emotionally unavailable one, the one who needed saving, the one who was hot and cold, present enough to keep you hoping, distant enough to keep you chasing. And every time it ended, you told yourself next time will be different. But next time, it never was. Here's why. The relationships you choose as an adult are not random. They are deeply familiar. And familiar doesn't mean healthy. Familiar means it feels like home. If home growing up was unpredictable, you learned to feel comfortable in chaos. If home was emotionally cold, you learned to chase warmth from people who withheld it. If home meant loving someone who was sometimes there and sometimes gone, you learned that love feels like uncertainty. And so as an adult, certainty feels boring. Stability feels suffocating. And the person who is consistently kind and present somehow doesn't feel exciting enough. Because excitement was never just excitement. It was anxiety wearing love's costume. This is called an attachment pattern, and it forms in the first few years of your life long before you had any say in the matter. There are four main attachment styles. Secure, formed when a child's needs are consistently met. Anxious, formed when love was inconsistent and unpredictable. Avoidant, formed when emotional needs were dismissed or ignored. And disorganized, formed when the source of love was also the source of fear. Most people cycling through painful relationships are operating from anxious or avoidant attachment. And they keep finding each other because their wounds fit together perfectly. The anxious person chases. The avoidant person withdraws. And both of them call this feeling love. So how do you break this? First, identify your pattern honestly. Look at your last three relationships. What was the common thread? Not in them, in you. What did you keep tolerating? What did you keep hoping would change? Second, understand where it came from. This is not about blaming your parents. It's about understanding that your nervous system learned what love looks like from the first people who were supposed to show you. Third, learn what secure love actually feels like. For many people, a relationship with no drama genuinely feels wrong at first. Too quiet, too safe, too easy. That discomfort is not a sign of incompatibility. It's a sign of healing. And finally, do the work before the next relationship. Because you cannot find a secure partner while you are still operating from an insecure wound. Heal first, then choose. You are not broken for repeating this pattern. You learned it before you could even speak, but you are now old enough to unlearn it. And that changes everything. Know more, feel more, heal more.